The Selfish Gene is a groundbreaking book by biologist Richard Dawkins, published in 1976. In it, Dawkins introduced the concept of the selfish genes, which suggests that genes are the fundamental unit of selection in evolution and they behave in ways that maximize their own replication, often at the expense of the individual organism. Dawkins argues that the apparent behavior seen in nature, such as parental care or cooperation among animals, can be better understood as strategies employed by genes to ensure their own survival and propagation. Selfish gene theory can be defined as the idea that the gene is the ultimate beneficiary of selection. This book is about making the individual secure, and the individual is merely a vehicle for its genes. The author is very comfortable with the idea that he can override biology with free will. Indeed, he encouraged people all the time to do it. Dawkins started this book by revealing his own hubris and comparing himself to Darwin. In Darwin's opinion, his theory of evolution picks up where Darwin's left off. Dawkins admires Darwin's theory but believes it can be pushed further to explain more than it has. Dawkins used Darwin's theory to explain evolution from an individual perspective by claiming that all organisms are machinery for the gene, which is the true unit of evolution. This unit of selection is selfish, thereby earning the name of the selfish gene. Dawkins expands Darwin's theory to explain the beginning of time. He argues that when the world as we know it was beginning to form, the unstable molecules broke apart and the stable ones survived. This was the first form of natural selection. As the process went off, one of these molecules developed the ability to make copies of itself, earning the title of the replicator and what Dawkins considered the founding father of DNA. By the time multiple replicators existed, natural selection took over again and the best replicators survived. At some point, a mutation or misreplication lead to one of the replicators developed a protein wall around itself, thereby becoming the first cell. As time went on, survival machines become more and more complex until we get to full multicellular organism, which is just a fancy shell for replicators. That's what humans are, very fancy survival shells for our replicators. We are lumbering robots at the will of our selfish genes. The DNA is present in each cell, described by Dawkins as a bookcase in each room containing the architect plans on how to build the house. Each bookcase or DNA contains binders or chromosomes with loose pages or genes in each binder. Nature only accounts for individuals who can survive and reproduce. A bird or a bee risks its life and health to bring its offspring into the world, not to help itself, and certainly not to help its species, but the genes that cause birds and bees to breed survive at the expense of other genes. Gene is effectively immortal and must be the primary unit of selection. No other unit shows such persistence, not chromosomes, not individuals, not groups, and not species. The True purpose of DNA is to survive, no more and no less.